your boss man's backyard. Roger Penske, Edsel Ford was here to witness it. I'm sure he's standing here in victory lane. How extra special is that for you in this organization?
It's really special. I wish Roger was here. I'm sure he's watching on TV right now. But thank you for the great car. And obviously being in the backyard of Ford, it means so much. But our thoughts and prayers too go out to that incident happened in Miami there last night. That's gosh, I can't believe that. But God has some crazy ways of things working out sometimes. But I don't understand that one. But great to be here in Victory Lane.
Well said. Congratulations. Joey Logano wins at Michigan.
If I can have your attention here in the Media Center, we're now joined by today's second place finisher in the Firekeepers Casino 400, and that is Chase Elliott, driver of the number 24 NAPA Auto Parts Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Chase, the racing out there today looked fantastic, looked a little bit difficult from everybody's standpoint who was on the track. Can you just walk us through those the final laps and your overall run today?
I had another fantastic car. My guys been doing a really good job the past few weeks, and we've been just trying to give it all we can get to get one of these things. Had another fantastic opportunity today, and I feel like definitely messed that one up for my guys. You just get, as I said outside, you can't do dumb stuff and expect to win. That's just the way life is. So that's certainly the way this sport is, and I did dumb stuff today, so can't expect to win.
Okay, we're going to open up the floor for questions for Chase Elliott. We'll start over here with Larry and work our way around.
Talk about the debut of this aero package. Was it significant or much to do about not much?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's still hard to race. Running that fast. Definitely when you have clean air on the nose, that's going to be an advantage. I don't care if we have a spoiler or no spoiler or 16 inches of spoiler. It doesn't matter. We're running 215 mile an hour, so it's going to be hard to race.
We'll go up here up front.
Chase, you, Kyle, and Joey in the top three of the younger drivers on the circuit. What does that kind of say about? Is it kind of cool to have a day where the youth dominates, and what does that maybe say about where the sport is right now?
Oh, well, I think it was a day that myself, Joey, and Kyle had 3 fast race cars, and I don't care if you're Superman. If you don't have a good car, you can't go and win one of these things. So I think that's just a testament to the teams. Certainly my team for giving me a fast race car, another one, and my guys have been doing such a good job. From pit stops to the guys at the shop, everybody has been giving it 110%, and I definitely messed one up for them today.
We'll go to Steve.
Yeah, Chase, you talked about you made some dumb things. Can you address what those mistakes were?
Yeah, just putting it in the correct gear would be a good start.
I believe we do have a question upstairs at the press box.
Chase, you kind of answered my question there. I was going to ask you, but what chances did you have to get up to Joey Logano, or was he just that dominant this afternoon?
Well, we had a shot. Kyle gave me a really, really good shove on a restart, was able to get by him, and I felt like we could kind of control the pace when we were out in front of him, and I thought that said a lot about our car. And once we had the lead there, I felt like we had a really good opportunity to control the rest of the race if we had good restarts and good time on pit road, and the pit road was fantastic, and the restarts weren't, so that was the difference.
Let's go up front to Bob.
Chase, how close do you feel you are to winning one of these races?
Well, I think we had a fantastic opportunity today, and I think I messed one up.
Any more questions for Chase Elliott? Chase, enjoy the break, and good luck in Sonoma. We are now joined on the stage by Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Target Chevrolet for Ganassi Racing. And Kyle, Chase was talking about cars are slipping and sliding out there, almost like looked like a dirt track race on asphalt today. Can you explain just how the racing was from your perspective today?
Restarts for sure were pretty crazy there. The start of the race, it looked like everybody was trying to take it easy, but still sliding around, and we were able to gain a few spots there. And don't really think I ran out of the top 6 pretty much all race long, so that was good. And yeah, every restart you get, you kind of struggle through the middle of 1 and then into 3, depending on where people were on your outside or whatever. So once it got kind of spread out, they weren't crazy to drive. Definitely more out of control than what we're used to. Entry was really loose for me. I was able to figure out a couple of things to help my entry out, but still wasn't able to arc my corners as much as especially Chase, but Joey as well. Ended up third. So it was a solid run for us. We've been consistent as we've been in the last year and a half anyways, and so it's nice to be right up front and getting closer to a win. I feel like still got some work to do, but it is nice when we can get a package like this thrown at us just a few weeks before the race, and our guys at the shop and here at the racetrack can look at the engineer data and come up with a good piece. So thanks to them, and hopefully we can build on this and try and get a win in my home state.
Good deal. We're going to open up the questions. We'll start over here on your left with Mike.
Yeah, Mike at the Detroit Free Press. Kyle, the fans got their money's worth today, I think. How would you rate it 1 to 10 from the package deal and and your own performance?
Well, I was up front for a lot of it, all of it really. So I don't. I think I maybe passed one car really for position. The 3 let me go because he had trash on his grill early in the race, and then I think I passed the 14, but he kind of let me go because I was a little bit faster than him. So I didn't really get to race around a whole lot of people today, so I don't have a very good opinion on if you could pass or whatever like that. But you could definitely run up closer to somebody than you could probably in the past. So that's a plus. There's always going to be a little bit of changes, I'm sure NASCAR or whoever can look at to make the cars race a little bit better. I don't know what that is. I just hold the wheel and hit the gas pedal. So I don't know. I honestly, I can't give an opinion on how the racing was just because I was kind of up front for all of it.
Go up front next.
Kyle, a lot of people thought the new package might favor some of the veteran drivers, but it turned out to be a day for the youth. Where is NASCAR right now? Is there a lot of good drivers? Obviously, a very good day today, but it's a pretty exciting future for especially with the younger drivers here.
Oh, for sure. It's NASCAR is there'll be you'll see a big change in the next 6 or 7 years probably with some of the veterans leaving the sport and lots of new guys filling their seats. So it's exciting to see. I'm happy I got here in the first small wave of seats opening up. But yeah, today was cool. Joey Logano, he's a couple years older than me. Chase, I don't think he's 21 yet. So probably the youngest top 3 the Cup Series has ever had. So it's pretty special. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool. It's going to be us and Blaney and whoever else hopefully in the sport for a long time.
Do we have any additional questions for Kyle Larson? Right here in the back.
9 cautions today. It seemed like most of the incidents were coming out of 2 in the backstretch. What seemed to be the problem over there in 2 in the backstretch, the reason for all those cautions?
Well, when you're in traffic like that, you already don't have a whole lot of aerodynamics or downforce on our cars, and then when you get in, I think when you get in traffic and get people on your right side, it takes that extra little bit of air off your car, and you're already out of control, and you're trying to grab as much throttle as you can so you don't get the guys behind you driving by you down the backstretch. So you're just trying to drive as hard as you can on the edge, and it's easy to slip here. This place, all these newly repaved tracks, they have a lot of grip, when you do have grip. But when you cross that line and step out a little bit, it takes off on you fast. So and you can't really feel it coming, and it's tough to save. So I haven't seen any of the wrecks, but I imagine that's probably what went on.
We'll finish back here with Stanley.
Kyle, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Will you sit down with the drivers from the drivers committee and talk about what you felt the rule changes did for you today?
I'm sure. I'm sure we'll all bring it up to each other and kind of get some ideas and stuff like that. We're, like I said, we're all the drivers, so we're not really out there to come up with ideas on what will make the racing better. We'll just kind of communicate and probably talk over what we liked or disliked and present that to NASCAR or whoever, and let them come up with a way of improving it. So I'm sure all those guys, I fly with a team, so I don't have Wi-Fi on the plane, but I'm sure my phone will blow up by the time I land with all those guys with the Wi-Fi on their private jets.
Good deal. Well, Kyle, enjoy a little bit of a break, and good luck in Sonoma.
Thanks. Thanks.
What's that? Oh, yep, got that. Got a name card too, ready to go. Okay, so we got Ron's name card. Okay, awesome. We are going to continue along with this afternoon's media availability following the Firekeepers Casino 400 with the winning manufacturer. Michigan International Speedway awards the Michigan Heritage Trophy, each race to the winning manufacturer. The trophy renews a fun rivalry between the automakers and serves as an iconic reminder that Michigan International Speedway is the manufacturer's racetrack. And that winning manufacturer today of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil car is none other than Ford. And it's my pleasure to announce on the stage here Dave Parasak, Global Director of Ford Performance. In the middle, we have Raj Nair, Executive Vice President, Product Development and Chief Technical Officer for Ford. And then also with the 100th win, Roush Yates engine and NASCAR, we have Doug Yates. Congratulations, all three of you. We'll just open it up we'll open it up to comments. We'll start with Dave, and then we'll just move on down the table. Dave, could you tell us what this really means for Ford and the pride that this trophy bestows?
Yeah, I mean, obviously racing is hugely important to us at Ford. I mean, it's part of our DNA. So to be able to win in our backyard means a lot to us. And then obviously to take this trophy home and share it with all of our employees. We have 1,400 employees here today sharing this win with us, and so that's really special to us. And then obviously to be able to do all of this and celebrate Roush Yates' 100th win in Cup is just absolutely phenomenal. So it just means the world to us.
Raj, what did you see out there from the 22 today and what it delivered for Ford?
Well, I mean, obviously, the 22, Joey and Team Penske and Roush Yates had a great weekend, secured the pole and led the most laps and, just really drove a flawless race. So can't say enough about that partnership and how great it is to work with, professionals like Roger and Doug and Joey, obviously, and Todd Gordon up on the box. So it was just a fantastic job. Couldn't have done it any better.
Doug, a storied history with your company and with Roush Yates engines in a relationship with Ford. What does it mean for you now to get that 100th win under your belt?
Oh, it's just a special day. I mean, to achieve that at Michigan just couldn't happen at a better place. And really, all the credit goes to Ford Motor Company and all the great employees at Roush Yates and what Raj and Dave are doing with Ford Motor Company today to lead us into the future. I've never been more excited about racing. I'm so proud to be with Ford Motor Company and part of their team. And to win here at Michigan is really special. And to win, I know it's not exactly Father's Day yet, but I had a lot of special memories here with my dad. And I've got my girls with me today, so it's a great weekend.
That's great. We're going to open the floor up for questions for these three gentlemen. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start back with Stanley and work our way around.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Doug, the one man that taught you almost everything you know, your dad, have you heard from him yet today?
Well, we have a deal. If we do well, I call him on the way home. If we don't, so we'll be talking. But he called me last night to see how we were doing, and he checks in, and this is a special place for him. And like I said, to win here in Michigan, to make these guys proud of what we do is something that really means a lot to us. We take a lot of pride in that. And it's something that is really, really special. And as you can tell, I'm pretty emotional and pretty excited about it. And I'm sure my dad and I will go over it. But Ford Motor Company has been a huge part of his career and my career, and we want to keep it going for a long time for now.
We do have a question from the press box. No questions from the press box. Okay, we'll go back. Any more additional questions from the room down here? We'll still go to Kenny and then over to Bob.
Doug, what's the benefits of all the Fords getting their engines from you guys as opposed to, say, Chevrolet, which has a couple of different people that supply engines? I mean, obviously there's a cost thing that the Ford teams don't have to do, but outside of that, what are the benefits to letting you guys handle it?
Yeah, it's just speaks to what racing is today and the level of technology that's in the sport and what's required, the resources and the manpower and everything that goes behind it. We work hand in hand with the engineers at Ford Motor Company that Raj and Dave provide to us, and it's really a joint effort, more than I've ever seen it. You know, it really speaks to what racing is all about. How stock car racing began is the engineers at Ford Motor Company work with just one team. And we're really proud to be that one team, and we feel like that's the best way to go racing that we see, and it's worked really well for us. But the level of technology is unbelievable in the sport today, and I'm proud that we've kept up with that. And I've got two of the smartest guys in the world sitting beside me that understand what that means, and we're going to keep pushing forward.
Go to Bob.
Bob Hockers, ESPN. Dave, what did you think of this aero package NASCAR used today as far as the racing? And do you think Logano, since he won the All-Star and won this, is going to be asking for the no skew rule to be implemented every week?
I mean, I think this new aero package is, it's a move in the right direction, and I think that the racing was better today for sure. Definitely puts it in the driver's hands to truly drive the car and bring out their skills. So I think it's a positive thing for the sport. So overall, I think it was really good. As far as your last comment, I don't know what to say about that, but I like the aero package.
Any additional questions? We'll go over here.
For either Dave or Raj, the saying in the sport years ago was win on Sunday, sell on Monday. Ford's had some very good months sales-wise in the showrooms lately. Could either of you just address in this current era how success in racing translates to that, et cetera?
Yeah, it's obviously not quite the same as it used to be, where it literally was the car off the showroom floor and then modified to go racing. So, the fans know that, but they still want some cars out there that they can relate to. But perhaps more importantly, it's an aspect of when we bring our engineering resources to bear and we work with the teams and we work with Doug, it's still an impact on particularly the influentials, the race fans. And those race fans have a big impact in their neighborhoods and their friends and family about when people are thinking about a new car, they go to the person who knows cars the most, and it's often a race fan. So those, what we call influentials, still matter on Monday. So it may not be the direct connection that it used to be, but it's still an aspect of win on Sunday and sell on Monday. And given that, it's, we're really lucky that we're in a business that designs and engineers and manufactures and sells and services cars. And this is a sport about racing cars. And not many businesses can say that. So that's why it makes total sense for Ford to be in racing.
One more question from Stan.
For the gentleman from Ford, you're going to take that back to the office. Where are you going to put it? And what's it going to mean to you over the next couple of months?
I think I'm going to put it in my office. Yeah, we've got a lot of buildings and a lot of employees that'll want to see it, so we'll probably rotate it through the buildings in Dearborn. That's what we did the last time we were privileged enough to hold this trophy, and yeah, we'll hold on to it dearly and then come back in August and hopefully take it home again in August.
Okay, well, gentlemen, congratulations again. Big win for Ford, big day for Roush Yates Engines, and best of luck going forward the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Come on down. Hello again. Yeah. Hello again. Long time no see. 2 minutes? Yeah, about 2 minutes. Yeah. Get some water. Yeah. We are now going to continue our media availability after the 48th Annual Firekeepers Casino 400. And we are joined now by the winning crew chief and winning car owner of the race. We have Walt Czarnecki, Executive Vice President, Penske Corporation, Vice Chairman of Team Penske, and also Todd Gordon, crew chief of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford. Let's start with Walt. It's always good to win in Ford's backyard, I'm sure, if you're Team Penske. And just walk us through today's race and the excitement that you have in Victory Lane.
A home game for us because our corporate offices are in suburban Detroit, and of course as a company we have such history here at MIS, so it's always special. But I guess a couple of things happened today that made it even more extraordinary. Obviously it's our 50th anniversary, which we're celebrating, so to win at home is important to us. This was Roush Yates, someone told me 100th victory as an engine builder for Ford, so we were happy to deliver that for them. And I'm really happy for the Shell Pennzoil team, Todd and Joey, because they've been so close all season long. They've been executing well, and things just didn't go their way in some of the previous races. But today it was a flawless race from my perspective. Someone asked me outside about the racing with this new package. I don't profess to, be an expert, other than the fact that I thought the spectators really got their money's worth today. It'll be interesting to see what the critics say and what the observers say here in the coming days, but I really think we're on the right track with this package. But all in all, a good day for Team Penske, and especially happy for Todd, Joey, and our Shell Pennzoil Ford team.
Todd, this has been a long time coming for you guys this season. It seems like you guys have been right on the edge of getting the victory lane, and now you finally sealed the deal. Just run us through those thoughts today.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty proud of this whole Shell Pennzoil team and in execution. It's a different package which brings opportunity, and I think when we've had different packages and new packages, our whole Team Penske operations done a great job of getting us prepared to come to the racetrack and have an idea of what we need to work on. And I'll really say a kind of status quo weekend. We showed up with all right speed and had a bullet list of things to work through. Executed on Friday with pretty proud of everybody executing there, and that really gets the weekend off to a kick. And then we kind of hammered through practice yesterday and knew what we needed to put together for today. And I think from the drop of green flag, Joey was pretty happy where we were.
Good deal. Let's open up the floor to questions. If you have a question for either of these two gentlemen, we'll get a wireless mic to you. Just ask you to state your name and affiliation. We'll start up here with Bob and then work our way around.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. Todd, did you guys, they predicted that corner speeds would be down about 10 miles per hour. Were you able to tell during the race if that was kind of what happened? And then also, considering you're 2 for 2 with no rear skew, does that fit into Joey's style, or is that just coincidence?
I like that rhyme. That's pretty cool right there. It's a. I don't get any information on the lap time during the race, so I can't speak for mid-corner speeds, but I would say that given lap time and what we saw in practice, that we did lose center corner speed, picked up end of the straightaway speed a little bit. But I know in talking to Joey after practice, it's definitely felt the speed loss, the transition. I think when I was rewatching the broadcast, we saw like 40 mile an hour from top speed to mid-corner minimum speed deviation, which is huge compared to what we've been in the past. So definitely made the guys lift a lot, which I think is good for racing. And to the question of the no skew piece, I think when we get new packages that our group, the whole group that we've got at Team Penske, and especially the Shell Pennzoil team, they're pretty diligent on understanding what we need to do to come to the track and have speed. And we did that the All-Star race, and I think we performed that again this weekend.
We are now joined on the stage by the winner of the 48th Annual Firekeepers Casino 400. That is Joey Logano, age 26, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. This is his 15th victory in 271 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series races. His first victory in 9th top 10 in 2016, and it's his second victory and 10th top 10 in 16 races at Michigan International Speedway. You're a young guy, but you're a veteran at this track, and just walk us through the exciting race that you put together today.
Yeah, first off, I didn't win. We won as a team. It's an amazing team effort from Friday or when we unloaded. With this rules package, you don't know what you're up against. When you barrel down into turn one the first time and you say, oh my God, they weren't kidding about that small spoiler on the back of it. And you start to, everyone started working on the car, able to put the thing on the pin to start the race, and be able to stay up in the top two the whole race. It goes to show that not only do we have a fast race car, we've seen a lot of times a fast race car doesn't win the race all the time. You got to execute throughout it. And, seeing the strategy that Todd had, the execution of the pit crew to keep us up front, the way the restarts went and able to maintain the lead and keep that clean air. Everyone did their job the way we were supposed to. And it feels good to be able to do that. It's when you lead that many laps, it's more of a relief when you win than anything, because you feel like you're supposed to when you have a car that good. So it felt really good to pull our car into victory lane, get that win. I consider it our second win of the season. I know you guys don't, but I think we've celebrated twice this year, so it's nice to be able to know that we're locked into the chase and we can race even harder than we do now.
Good deal. We're going to open the floor up to questions. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start up front here with Larry and work our way around.
You're the first winner younger than 30 to win this year, and a few young guys are up front. Can you just talk about, I guess, the day of youth and if that was any factor with the package or otherwise, or coincidence?
Probably a coincidence. Those guys have been fast all year, but it's cool to see the futures here, and it's fun for me. Shoot, I'm usually the youngest guy by a long shot, so it's fun to be racing for the win with some guys that are close to my age, up there racing for the win. So the future of NASCAR is present, and it's going to be big. And it's amazing you see some of these guys that are coming in, how good they are, and in particular look at Chase today and Larson as well here recently, how fast he's been. So their wins are obviously right around the corner. You can see that. I'm glad we got ours first, but it's definitely there's some strong competitors. I'm gonna be racing against those two at least for the rest of my life. I know that, and I'm excited about it.
Okay, we're going to go to Bob and then the Lee, and then we'll have a question from the press box.
Along those same lines, Joey, I mean, does it kind of feel strange to be the grizzled veteran in the top three today? I mean, it seems like forever, as you say, you were the kid, and when you came up, there just weren't that many young guys, and now it seems like there's a lot of young guys in the sport.
Yeah, it's neat, to kind of see how it's come along. For me, I think it's with my 8th season or something like that. I think I'm 8 years into this thing. So, I've been doing it for a while, which it definitely plays into my hands at this point, going through the struggles and maybe getting thrown into a situation too young and too soon. And when I wasn't prepared for it, and going through all that has really, changed me as a person and helped me, look at every race situation maybe a little bit different than I used to. And I wouldn't change that for anything, because now I'm able to use that for my advantage, and I'm still only 26 years old, so I still got plenty of time left, and Todd's going to be here with me, and Walt, and we're all going to be up there in victory lane winning a bunch more.
Going to go next to Lee, and then we have 2 questions in the press box.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Can you just kind of give us, the seat of the pants feel that you had with the new aero package? Because it seemed like if anybody went 3 wide, it was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, that's what it was like. I went down into turn 1 the first lap, and I thought I was King Kong. I drove down in there and about crashed. So that didn't work out so well. So I learned a lot from that one. It's just the cars are out of control. No doubt they are out of control, crazy, and it makes it a lot of fun. But you got to think, if you're in that pack a little bit, you're going faster down the straightaways, you're getting a huge draft when cars are side by side in front of you, and you have no downforce at all. So, especially when you're 3 wide, your angle's awful going into the corner, and you're trying to clear them, everyone's racing hard. It's a recipe for disaster, for sure. But I haven't rewatched it and haven't seen much, but I thought the race was I think pretty good. There's a lot of natural cautions out there and a lot of things that happen, and I think that's a good sign. And I, without watching it, I know it's better than the package we ran here last time. So I'm excited about that. It's definitely. You can make mistakes from inside the car. There's plenty of times that I went, down into a corner and drove in a little bit too hard and chased it up the racetrack and had to work inside the car and really had to manage your tires and which tires you're using and all that. And there was more fall off than what there's been here in the past. So I think all that together is good, is directionally correct for racing.
Okay, we're going to go upstairs to the press box.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. This one's for Todd. On TV, you referenced the mistake on the restart on lap 117 when Chase got the lead, and that you had subsequently fixed it. What was the mistake, and how did you correct it?
We can't answer all those questions. Shut me off. We know where that went, and we'll talk about that internally. But that's a great thing about Joey and restarts. He's a master of it. I put him against anybody on this field, and I think we kind of shuffled things around, and you could see that the 24 and 42 could definitely work together on restarts, and we put them in a position there. I'm not going to speak for the rest of it though.
We have one additional question in the press box.
Yeah, Brian Eberly, RubbinsRacing.com. Joey, getting the win here today in Ford's backyard with 1,400 of their employees here. Just how special does that make this victory for you, and where does it make it rank among your 15 career Cup victories?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's also the 100th victory for Roush Yates, I believe, as well. So engine department. So it's big for everybody to be able to win here at Michigan. I know how much it means when you see everybody show up at the racetrack here in the drivers' meeting earlier, and they're introducing. Like, man, this will be big if everyone can celebrate in victory lane. So not only being in Ford's backyard, but being in Team Penske's backyard up here. Roger built this place, so it's cool to be able to be in victory lane. This is where I got, Todd and I got our first Cup win together with Team Penske. So it's been a special place for us. It's been a good racetrack for us ever since then, but it's nice to be able to break through once again.
We'll keep it upstairs and then come downstairs to Bob.
Brant James, USA Today Sports for Joey. What is it about how race car drivers are wired that something can be out of control, a recipe for disaster, but you love it and you want more of it?
I don't know how smart we are. Come on, all you guys are thinking it. But, I think that thrill, the adrenaline that you get by controlling something that's out of control, a lot of times, being right on that edge of backing it in the fence, and we've seen it happen in qualifying, and you're just right on that edge. And I remember after qualifying, I was walking into the media center here, and I was signing an autograph, and my hand was shaking. I couldn't even write my name. That's cool. I mean, that's how on edge you have to be to go fast, and it was like that for 400 miles today. That you're just right on that ragged edge, and that's awesome. We don't want to. I don't want to drive slow. That ain't no fun. That's the sport part of this. It should be a challenge. It should be on the edge. It shouldn't be easy. And at this level, it definitely isn't.
We're going to go to Bob and then the Jim Utter and then back upstairs.
Packers, ESPN. Joey, you've won both the races with no rear skew. So would you vote for that to be implemented right away?
Yeah. I think the skew thing is. We talk about directional with things, and we talk about today, obviously, with the really small spoiler and the splitter and all that. But I think having the skew out was a good thing for Charlotte. If you look at All-Star race compared to 600 and the differences in those races, I thought the race was better. I might be biased, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about it, but I thought the All-Star race was a better race and more passing, and it's also a night race as well. So I think there's a lot of other things that kind of, probably can add up to make more difference there, but I think having the skew out is a good thing. At least for tire wear and all that as well.
And you talk about the car being out of control and being on the ragged edge. Does that fit? Do you feel that fits your style any more than anybody else?
I guess so. I wasn't sure, to be quite honest with you. Early in my career, when I first started Cup racing, there wasn't much downforce on the race cars, and I didn't run very well. So I guess that was a a little bit, I don't want to say worried, that's not the right word for it, but I was, cautious and thinking about it a lot and how this low downforce is going to be. Kind of going back to, this is obviously less than we've ever had. So, kind of going back towards that, how that was going to be. But apparently I learned something over the last 8 years that I can drive one of these cars now and able to, explain what I need, I think, a lot better to Todd to help him make the right decisions in practice and making sure our car is good for the race.
Go over to your right to Jim.
JimOtterMotorsport.com for Todd, and also Joey, if you want to answer it. You guys clearly have been very competitive all season and had opportunities to have won. What was that final hurdle, in your opinion, that you crossed today? I know Joey has mentioned execution before, but what would you consider it to be?
I mean, that's a word we talk about a lot, is execution. I think that you've got 40 race teams that all have the ability to be very successful. It's how you execute against each other. You can't make mistakes. We aren't good enough to. I mean, the field's so strong that you can't make mistakes and be successful. So I think execution and having a game plan and understanding what you need. And yeah, we've had opportunities that we've been strong with that just haven't come all the way through. But not getting down over those pieces and knowing that we're continuing to build speed and work forward, I think got us to the point we were today. We're not in any anxiety at this point. We had a terrible month of May. With accidents that really weren't of our cause and we're just victims of. So the great part is this whole team they don't ever give up. I used to talk about that as, never give up was the hashtag that they had a couple years ago. They're still that way. Is we've got a bunch of level-headed people that aren't totally emotionally driven, and they see the big picture, that we've got speed. We just need to keep doing the things that we do and execute, not make mistakes, and we can be successful. No differently than last year. I think we did an awesome job of that through the whole year last year, and we're getting back to that point.
I think it takes everything. This, I don't feel like we're a much different spot than what we were in this point last year. I feel like we're, as a team, we stick together. And I think this team is the definition of team, in my opinion, which is a team that doesn't point fingers at somebody when things go wrong. And obviously it's easy to say, when is a team loses a team, but actually doing that is a challenge. I don't think we don't single people out. We're all in it together. We're going to make decisions together, and we're going to stand behind each other on those. And we know we're going to make mistakes. We talk about learning from them and not making them again. And I talk a lot about how mistakes aren't a bad thing as long as you learn from them and you don't do it again. So I think this team its foundation is very strong. And I think the way we handle situations is leaders from Walt and Roger's side, from Todd's to myself, and how we handle situations throughout our race team. Not only the 22 team, but throughout Team Penske is well thought out and methodical in the way we make our decisions. And I think that we see reward with that.
We'll go back upstairs for a question.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Joey, with the cars being out of control crazy today, how's it going to be at Kentucky Speedway next month with the new pavement and tighter quarters?
Well, I'll be there tomorrow, so I don't think I should give an answer to that yet because I haven't been there. But being the first car on the racetrack, hopefully we're going to try not to be the first car on the racetrack, but we're going to be the first group of cars on the racetrack, and there's no telling what's going to happen. I remember going to Pocono right after we repaved it, and actually it's funny because Todd was there, but we weren't working together at the time, and how out of control the cars were the first few cars that went on the racetrack. It was ice. I think eventually it's going to rubber in and it's going to change up, but I know they've done some different things up there to try to weather the track in and try to age it a little bit quicker, and I'm interested to see how that's going to be and how it's going to look, and obviously that place used to be really bumpy, so where that's going to be now, and we definitely have some stuff to learn. Not too much partying tonight. We got to go to work tomorrow.
One more question from Stan.
Yeah, Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. This is for Walt. I guess you're still. Yeah, I can see you. Okay. Have you heard from Roger? What has he said about this victory today? Because I know he likes to talk about these wins. What do you think it means to him?
Yeah, we did speak from Victory Lane. He's down in Texas. We're there in a rain delay. But this was very important. As I said earlier, this place, first of all, MIS has such a special meaning and such a special place in the history of our company. So to win here, it means a lot. And he was pretty excited. And in fact, I told him, I said, I really think the performance today was flawless by the team, and he absolutely agreed. When he had the chance to watch it, he said, I watched the last part of it. And he was very excited, but really grateful for what happened, for the job these guys are doing, for sure.
Gentlemen, congratulations again on the victory, and good luck off week and then into Sonoma.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll wrap up our media availabilities for this evening with Scott Miller, Senior Vice President, NASCAR Competition, as well as Gene Stefanyshyn, Senior Vice President of Innovation and Racing Development. Just your initial thoughts, Scott, and then Gene, and then we'll open it up to media for questions.
Well, watching the race today from the tower, it was definitely. It was definitely different than we've seen here before. A lot of action on the restarts, a lot of movement there. As they got it, obviously we all watched it, get strung out a little bit, which we weren't hoping for longer into the run. So I think we saw a lot of things that we liked, some other things that may need a little bit of reevaluating, but I think overall, for such a big move in downforce, that it was a really pretty successful day and something that we can build on.
Yeah, I would say there were at times they were strung out a bit. I think probably need to come back to a bit more work on the tires, which these tires have not been tuned to this package. So we'll work with our Goodyear folks. Probably a bit handicapped by the the entry speed's pretty high, so still that creates some aero effects. So that's something we'll look at. But again, this is been planned as a 2 or 3 step process. We're off to Kentucky tomorrow, and then we'll be on the track at Kentucky, a shorter track, lower speeds and all that. So we'll see how that all comes together. So this is part of it. Did see some things. I think the middle of the field, we did see cars running together and passing. So so I think more work to do.
All right, questions from the media. We'll start with Jim and go to Bob.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. For either one of you, a lot of driver comments in here and on pit road about out of control, very loose, but also very entertaining from their perspective. Is the out of control, loose, and making it kind of hard to drive the objective that you guys are looking for?
Well, I don't know that we want them to be out of control, but it's one of those things. And like we said earlier, we worked with the drivers and worked on one of the biggest things that the drivers are looking for is that off throttle time and that differential between the mid corner speed and the entry speed, and that's one of the very, very positive things from what we saw throughout the course of the whole weekend is that we did achieve that goal. A little bit more ability to run closer together. We crossed that hurdle, and I think we'll be looking at something here.
Yeah, I think the drivers, obviously we don't want them to be out of control, but they do want to be challenged, and they want to exhibit their driving skills and, getting off the throttle and using the brake a bit and when to get the throttle, picking the right point and all that. So I think that's when they really enjoy driving, and I think when they enjoy driving, they generally put on a better show. So that's kind of the objective.
We'll go to Bob next.
Bob Parkhurst, ESPN. I assume from what you saw today that you're good with the kind of with this rules package being used at Kentucky, like that there wasn't anything so drastic that you would change.
Yeah, I mean that's right. We would, at Liberty, a big track, a smaller track. So yeah, we'll continue with the plan. So we won't change direction at this moment. No.
And since we won't see it for a couple of weeks, when would you expect teams to get, if there are any changes for Daytona rules package? What would be?
There won't really be any changes for Daytona that I know of right now. Do you? We got anything on tap, Gene?
No, not for Daytona. No.
Other questions for Gene or? Oh, I'm sorry.
There's one customer.
Good job, Joey.
All right, we'll go to Kenny Bruce and then over to Lee Spencer.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. With you guys coming back here later this year, do you anticipate, just because Goodyear will have time, I'm assuming, to maybe come back with a different tire? Would you just wait on that and see what kind of impact that has before you guys say, okay, maybe you talked about slowing the straightaway speeds down and stuff. Would you kind of want to wait and see what happens with that before you do anything?
Yeah, I think so. I think we, again, we want to move cautiously. We've got a plan. We come back to Michigan. We'll see what the 16 package looks like, because we've kind of come here with a 17 package. So I think our deliberate approach with Kentucky in there. Obviously, we still want to talk to the drivers what they felt and get that input. How did the car feel to them? And also, we need to look at our data, passing, et cetera, et cetera. So. Yeah, so we've still got to get home and look at some of this information.
All right, over to Lee.
So if for some reason you all, everything does look copacetic, to the competitors and to NASCAR, are you still looking at holding the package until 2017, or do you think we'll see it before then?
Yeah, that's a good question. The question I think has been asked several times before, and I hearken us back to the way we handled it last year. We had a similar situation, so if you want to use that as a surrogate, we talked to the drivers, we talked to the OEMs, we had a good conversation with everybody and asked, should we move, shouldn't we move, what's the fair thing to do? Everybody thought they've got their engineering book in place for that year, and they said, hey, let's wait till next year. Not saying that'll be the same decision, but we need to get to the end of the journey and get through Kentucky and see where we are. But I think if you use last year, people might want to just kind of stay with what we got, run our course through the end of the year, and introduce something new for next year, because we really don't want them to also be, going off and working on a couple of dual paths. I guess it all depends when you announce it, but if you tell them earlier and they're still running some of the old package, when you introduce a new package, so we want to avoid that kind of stuff.
All right, any final questions? Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. I know you got a lot to do in the garage to catch up with the crew chiefs and the drivers. Thank you for coming in to address the media.
You're welcome. Appreciate y'all being here.